Dixieland. Each time you hear a band, give up with that one-step beat. In a flash you're up on your feet. High trumpet and clarinet gets you where you wanna get with a flare in the air. It's the flare of the trombone takes you one step nearer Dixieland. Oh, Mr. Leader Man, don't tell me to shut my mouth when you play that song of the South. Jazz has never me to this very day. I'll be on my way just one step closer to Dixieland.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Dixieland Express, and it's our pleasure to be here to entertain you this afternoon. We're going to play some very old tunes and some very new tunes. And what I'd like to do right from the beginning here is start off and introduce the band. On banjo and claxophone, which is the first time you've probably heard that instrument, Rick Eldridge. On percussion, to Joel Alpert. And on tuba, Merle Biggin. On trombone, Mr. John Stewart. On trumpet, we have, what's his name? And yours truly, Kurt Benner on clarinet. Les Elgins on trumpet. Okay, the first tune we played was called the original Dixieland One-Step, and that tune was recorded late 1917 by the original Dixieland Jazz Band in New York. It was a very interesting story because there was a great deal of controversy about who wrote that tune and who should get royalties, but we'll talk some more about that. There's lots of interesting caveats and things about the history of this type of music as it evolved in New Orleans and other places. So next we're going to do a little combination of tunes. The first one is called Fireman's Lament, and the second tune is going to be a test tune. We're going to ask you what the name of that tune is at the end of our performance of it. So we're going to start with Fireman's Lament. Okay, class, the name of that last tune was? Tiger Red. Very good, very good, very good. You know, this, I mentioned the recording of music for the jazz scene began in 1917 with the original Dixieland Jazz Band. They were originally contacted by Columbia Records at that time, and they went in and then they tried to do a recording, but they couldn't get it to work. Because you got to recognize, they didn't have any microphones. What they had was what they call a recording horn. You've seen the RCA Victor labels with the dog listening to his master's voice. So basically it was a horn that actually wrote on the templates that were later converted to the records. So what happened was, the band then went to RCA to see if they could do a recording. So what they had to do was line up the band in front of the recording horn. And they mixed and they matched positions for the different instruments until they could find one combination that worked the best to get the recording. So it ended up with the piano first, followed by the clarinet, the trombone, the trumpet, and then the percussion. And the percussion couldn't use the bass drum because there was so much reverberation and echo that it really destroyed the record. So it's kind of an interesting part of our history. We've got a few more things we're going to talk about as we go along here. And so, what do we got next here, guys? Oh, we got Blues in the Night. This is an old, what we call training song, and you can hear that triplet rhythm, da 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 da. And this is really derived from the sound of the train on the tracks. Blues in the Night. Thank you very much. Now, it's part of our innate nature is to respond to music. And so, there's been a lot written psychologically about people sitting in the symphonic hall and they're just sitting there, riveted to their seats. But feel free to move to the music any way you like. Stamp your feet, clap your hands, get up, dance around. You can march around. We've had audiences sometimes just get up and parade around the floor. So please feel free to enjoy yourself, enjoy the music, and move with it. Next tune we're going to do for you, something called the Mardi Gras Rag. Now you've been hearing some unusual sounds from the band, coming from an instrument here which we call, and which is known as the klaxophone. This is the one and only edition of this particular instrument. In the world. In the world. So, we have great fun with this, so you're going to be hearing a lot more of it. That adds a good deal of entertainment to the overall performance. We're now going sailing down the Chesapeake Bay, featuring Les Elkins on vocal.
All aboard for Baltimore. Round the bend I see the steamer coming, dear, headed here to this pier. If you hurry we can make it, never fear, on the old Dominion line. Ain't she sailing pretty as she hugs the shore, steaming for Baltimore. Hear the paddles turning, hear the water churning, she's the queen of the Chesapeake Bay. Come on Nancy, put your best dress on. Come on Nancy, for the steamer's gone. Everything is lovely on the Chesapeake Bay. All aboard for Baltimore and we will let them all be told. Now look here Captain, let us catch that road. We can't swim and listen, we can float. Banjo strong and a go low too. Up on deck is the place to spoon. Huddled close beneath the silvery moon. Sailing down the Chesapeake, sailing down the Chesapeake, sailing down the Chesapeake Bay.
Sailing down the Chesapeake Bay, great fun, great fun. The next tune we're going to do is going to be a little bit slower tempo, and it is really one of the classic New Orleans tunes. It's called Second Line. That's a lovely tune. That kind of funky percussion beat is really very fun to play for him with. Another little vignette here about our history in this musical business. Back in the beginning of the 20th century, down in New Orleans, there was a very sad situation in which was taking place. There were a series of axe murders. And somebody was breaking into houses on weekends and killing people with axes. So in one of the Italian communities, they decided to start having all-night jam sessions. And so they would roll up the carpeting, and they put the chairs around the outside, and musicians would come and go. And the story has it that one sax player walked in one time and sat next to a clarinet player, and the guy said to the clarinet player, "You got your axe, man?" And so now we call the musicians' instruments their axe. Okay, we know you folks like to sing, so we're going to do a little sing-along tune here, and we'd also like somebody to come up and join us and play the tambourine. Has anybody ever wanted to play with a traditional jazz band? This is your big chance. Your big chance. Anybody? Are there any kids in the audience? Okay, that's fine. We're going to do When You're Smiling, so it's going to volunteer. Hooray! Absolutely. So we have to have a four-letter word, a plan, and this is the plan. We're going to start with the band playing ensemble, When You're Smiling, and then Les is going to sing, and we'd like to have you sing along with him. We'll sing it twice, play it one time ensemble out, so it'll be ensemble, 2 times singing, and 1 time ensemble. Okay? All right, let's rock.
When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you bring on the rain, so stop your sighing. Be happy again, so keep on smiling.
give Joseph a big hand for joining the band here. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. She used to be a music teacher. Well, we hope we are not offending your ears today. Thank you. Oh, yes, okay. You know, these guys, so many little puns and stuff, also almost makes you lose sleep at night sometimes. Okay, we're going to play a tune that was made famous by the Dorseys, Marie.
Tears will fall as you recall the moon in all its splendor. This kiss, so very tender, the words, will you surrender to me, Marie?
Thank you very much. I promised old tunes and new tunes. We've had most of the old tunes now. We're going to bring to you a tune that was written by the son of the man who started the original Dixieland Jazz Band. The original Dixieland Jazz Band was started by Nick LaRocca in about 1916, and his son Jimmy LaRocca is still alive and playing trumpet in New Orleans. Some years ago, I was doing research on some of the old music, and I was able to get in touch with Jimmy, and I happened to be going to New Orleans after that on business, and I asked him if he had time to get together. So he came in from Mater, Louisiana, which is just north of the city, and we sat down and chatted for 2 hours. A really nice guy, and he was very kind to share with us a number of his original compositions without compensation. And so some of this stuff is, as we say in the biz, very sweet. So we're going to play for you now one of his tunes called Sleepy Bayou. the sleepy bayou, Louisiana bayou, that's where I want to be. Lounging in the shade of a moss-covered tree, listening to the mockingbird's melody. Oleander's blooming, honeysuckles climbing, shrimp boats sailing on their way. Creole love songs fill the air the whole day by a sleepy bayou. Oh yeah. I know you folks have been dying for a Charleston number, right? I can just see it in your eyes. Lit with fire. 5'2" Eyes of Blue coming up next. The next number we're going to do for you is one that has a nice solo by our percussionist Joel. It's called Whispering. sure you'll recognize this melody.
Whispering so no one can hear me. Each little whisper seems to cheer me. I know it's true, dear, there's no one but you, dear. Whispering that you'll never grieve me. Whispering that you'll never leave me. Whispering so you will believe me. Whispering that I love you. How about Joel Albert on drums?
This is another one of those tunes that needs no introduction. You'll probably know what it is by the first note that's played. Here's another little tidbit for you. Very interesting finding this out some time ago. You would never believe that the Catholic Church had anything to do with traditional jazz. Well, here's the story. In the 8th century, a Muslim army invaded the Iberian Peninsula with 15,000 troops and 10,000 slaves. And they went and they battled all the way up to the south of France and were stopped in 732 at the south of France. And over the years, the monarchies in Western Europe, with the pressure of the Catholic Church, began pushing the Muslims farther south, and farther south. During the course of this 800-year occupation ended in 1492, the Catholic Church became very familiar with the musical and dance traditions of the African Americans who were the slaves as part of that invading force. And so when the city of New Orleans was founded in 1711 by the French, of course the Catholic Church was a very important part of that settlement and development of that particular city. And so unfortunately there were slaves there, but the church allowed the slaves to gather on Sundays and sing and dance. Now this is something that could have never happened in the eastern United States because of the religious feelings about dance and stuff. So it's kind of an interesting caveat. One would never think that that is the case. So our next tune is going to be what we call the Concerto for Claxophone. And it will feature Rick Eldridge on the claxophone, and we hope you'll enjoy it.
This is a tune about building something out of spare parts. From some old chair, down your neck from some old bottle, and from a horse I'll get some hay. The hands and face I'll take from some old clock, and baby, when I'm through, I'll get more love from that dumb dummy than I ever got from you. Thank you.
A lot of class and it was all low.
Concerto for Claxophone.
Where is the claxophone?
Well, I'm sorry.
Where is the claxophone? What is it?
we're gonna do a little parade here, ladies and gentlemen, with the Saints. This is our routine. We're generally closing our program, so we hope that you will join us and march around with the band.
Gotta get a good picture of that. That is quite amazing.